99% of men avoid this. Women find it beautiful. Sounds excessive, possibly, but let me ask you, how many times have you observed a man who seems to have everything yet still? Challenges to produce profound significance. Relationships with women that go beyond looks, money, or confidence. The truth is, most guys ignore some very important, little but strong gestures that can have them irresistible. And right now, I'm about to expose 7 secret hunters concealed within women often yearn but seldom express this. Therefore, these are not the usual dating advice you have heard 100 times. These are really subtle psychological triggers, supported by both old Stoic philosophy and modern science knowledge, able to change the way women see you, leaving you unforgettable. Without using too much effort, imagine this. What if you could use the subconscious needs of women that most not even know they have? What if you might easily stand out among 99% of men, not by demonstrating, not by chasing you, but with knowledge of what really gives a woman visibility, desired, and emotionally close? And here is the thing, if you are ignorant of these truths, you are in a major state of disadvantage. You might be passing over, creating the type of appeal that keeping her in constant thought about you long after you left the room. So you need until the very last moment of this video. The last secret is the most strong. 1. Once you grasp it, you'll never see attraction the same way. Once more, before we delve, then do me a favor if you're committed to learning. These revolutionary approaches target that similar to button subscription and turn on warnings so you won't overlook any of the transforming revelations arriving your life. Let us begin with a secret number. First secret, the power of touch before intimacy. 1. The power of touch before intimacy. Image yourself on a date. She is flowing in the discourse, laughing, and everything feels to be going nicely, yet something feels strange. Can feel that the link is lacking. She's engaged, but not quite here. Totally absorbed in. You drop her off, sends later hush, and then follow-up material. Reaction. Most guys concentrate on words to help to create attraction. They believe to be wonderful. Talk is plenty, but for women, relationship goes beyond mere words. It's both psychological and physical, and one quite underappreciated approach to produce that connecting touch, instead of a pushy, aggressive approach, not in a manner that results in she feels uneasy, but subtly deliberate and quite significant manner. Among the most underused motions that women go to Elra for a straightforward, light-hearted. Before intimacy, massage seems straightforward. Right. But here's why it's potent for women's emotional link, is exactly as significant, if not more importantly, than physical attraction. A non-sexual touch positioned correctly shares far more than just words. Eva might say, "I see you, I care. Concerning you, I want you to be secure and comfy with me." It's not about being either attempting to wow or a massage therapist. It is about presence in the moment, causing her to become calm, known, and sought for, not only physically, but psychologically. The secret is not only with touch itself, but also with the intention behind it. If you simply following the rituals won't be effective. But if you are present and involved, really listening to her and how she answers, she will sense Marcus Ellis, one of the best Stoic ideas. Once mentioned, waste no more time debating what a decent man ought to be. One should not overanalyze it. Don't make it strange, just be in the instant and let your behavior to speak for itself, regarding themselves. The hard reality is this. Most males never spend time to see this. Idea so they continue to be part of the 99% that battle with emotional intimacy. But the males that do it generate close bonds that women cannot forget, in a society when most guys depend on. Right once satisfaction and ground-level interactions of this type. This kind of considerate approach is rare, yet when you master it, you then join the one aroma. The men who really know what women now want on a more profound level let us trick to flirting confidentially and respect. Go on to a hidden mirror, or to the skill of courting with dignity. The most men misinterpret flirting. They either overdo it and come out as aggressive and frantic, or they restrain too much, AI prone to error. The truth is, women enjoy flirting, but only in relation to done with assurance and subdued subtlety and respect. A man who is adept in flirting effortlessly distinguishes himself since he generates a feeling of exhilaration. Flirting free from pressure is not about embarrassing her with bogus jokes or too optimistic praises. It's about maintaining a lively brightness and consider it as if you were dancing. Led, she observes, neither of you ought under pressure into the mobility. The best approach to accomplish this is via light-hearted, fun-oriented mocking and taunting. For instance, if she claims to adore something, some kind of cuisine, you could find suitable with, "Really, that's the best you have here? You obviously have never had my food." It's a little obstacle that maintains the intriguing discussion while building a kind of light-hearted rivalry. More significantly, excellent flirting isn't about looking for your permission. The instant you try, too difficult to please, you lose your edge. Women find themselves drawn to males who are at ease in their own flesh, who can play about without depending on validation, is where Stoic philosophy has great worth for man. Does not flirt in order to captivate a woman. He flirts since he likes the socializing. Himself, he stays emotionally rooted, never yearning for her response outside terms, body language and eye contact. A confident dentist's slow nod or a well-timed stop has more power than attraction in any pickup line is not built. By words alone, it's created through presence, vitality and confidence. When you flirt with the correct mentality, ladies experience right first. So, are you flirting to wow, or are you fleur, aching since you like the situation? Master this, and you'll see how attractiveness changes in your advantage. Third secret. Why should one touch her hair at the right moment connects us? Third is her power of touching. Hair, most males ignore this entirely. Yet, women enjoy it when a man understands how to touch their hair. During the perfect moment is among those apparently minor movements that can produce immediate emotional connection, but done incorrectly, it can feel embarrassing, pushed, or even intrusive. The secret is to grasp. Why this works? One of the scalp's characteristics is one of most delicate parts of the body, occupied having nerve ends set to activate deep emotional reactions, placed in a modest manner. Touch on her hair can transmit subdued but strong signs of closeness, trust, and appeal. It goes beyond the bodily sense. It relates to the unspoken message it gives. I see you, I'm here right now, and tuned to your power. But most men go wrong here. They either hurry it or go strictly mechanical, devoid of any actual relationship behind the gesture. Touching her hair is not about fiddle with it. Absent-mindedly, it's concerning arranging a moment of proximity. Imagine this. You are seated. She was in conversation, and just the precise time you softly sweep a hair strand off her face, that one intentional, single action carried out confidence can express more than words could ever do. Timing is really important. This isn't something you do. On a first visit or prior to your developed, any emotional link can find success. Optimal when she is already at ease with you, when chemistry exists and coziness in the atmosphere. If she leans in somewhat, if her smile reflects a manner that invites proximity, that is when one knows the moment is perfect. The worst thing you can force it when she isn't ready. which is why awareness and presence are vitally from a stoic standpoint. This relates closely to emotional intelligence, and Stoicism reminds us to read circumstances whereby one should not behave impulsively to maintain control instead than being regulated by desire. This suggests not extending outreach merely for your own benefit to, rather, because it's the correct instant to establish a link. So the following time you are with a woman and the moment seems appropriate. Do not minimize the ability of a basic touch on her hair done with assurance and purpose in mind, one of those rare subdued motions that create a secret for the lifetime. Subdued force of a hand on her back. Influence hidden number 4 with your hand on her back in public. This could seem to be a minor little deed, yet in fact it tells volumes. A straightforward, confident touch on a woman's lower back as your guide across a crow, or when strolling alongside each other, transmits something very significant. Pleasing leadership, confidence, and protection. Still, a 9% of males either ignore it or pause, not sure whether women should do this at all. Don't demand big demonstrations of masculinity to feel safe. They require subdued, natural signals that a man is rooted in reality and able of guiding. When you set your hand on her rear in a composed, self-reassured manner, you transmit a message that you are in charge of in the circumstance in which one does not have to mention a single word. It's not about supremacy or control. Instead of regarding her by means of activities, you are there and attentive, and you are leading quietly. Confidence. But most guys go here. Incorrect. They either stop too often, rendering the event uncomfortable, or they do things in a way that seems compelled and unnatural. This is not about either possessiveness or is it about looking for validation. It's about presence when done. Right. The touch is light but purposeful, yet deliberate, brief but intentional. Plenty for her to sense and record. Your presence seems to be in a way that simple and natural. See this picture. You are side by side, headed in front of a restaurant's door as you go ahead to let her through. Your hand stops momentarily on her lower, a movement that gently calms the subconscious. She is with a man that moves with certainty and intention. From a Stoic, this relates directly to perspective, this emotional awareness and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius stated once, "Waste no more time debating what a decent man ought to be one." An OIC guy does not hunt acceptance of his deeds. He just represents quiet and powerful awareness. Control. When you lay your hand on her, you are not looking for a reaction backwise. You just are a man of presence. Hence leadership, and that alone is magnetism in a universe where many guys are either extremely shy or too aggressive, overreaching. Mastering this basic but strong movements define you as someone who recognizes the fine equilibrium of fifth secret number, strength and caring. Secret 5. Her guardian in little forms, her hero. The guardian here is a protector. Does not suggest rescuing a woman or behaving comparable to her personal women who work as bodyguards nowadays are autonomous. Strong and totally competent of managing their personal difficulties. Yet, here is the covert. They still want for a man who creates, they feel comfortable. Not in a dramatic, over 3 way, but in the little consistent acts demonstrating your backtracking from her both psychologically and physically. Most guys believe that being a protector implies intervening just in cases of extreme events, like ending a fight or safeguarding her integrity in some great showcase. But the reality is the little elements, fostering attraction and trust over time. Your response when someone treats her rudely is ensuring she returns home without causing any significant event out of it that stands next. She was in an awkward position. Providing subtle but unquestionably helpful support. Women see and value these little actions of consistency. A calm man under duress, managing events calmly, who is present but not overbearing. This is the reason she feels secure, and in a society full of unpredictability, in individual stability is unusual and rather beautiful. But let's be clear, you are a guardian does not mean dictating her or imposing. Her sensation incapable indicates you are someone she depending on when it counts. A man who does not find someone not escalating. Circumstances unwarranted, but also who also does not hesitate when the occasion demands it. In relation to strength, this is the domain of Stoic philosophy. Turns into priceless Epictetus once mentioned. It's not your fate, but rather how you respond to it that concerns. A Stoic man is emotionally consistent. He doesn't behave out of need or impulse or anxiety. Instead, he notes, evaluates, then answers with cool accuracy, and that is precisely what drives a lady. At comfort in his presence. When you project this kind of peaceful consistency, energy you stand out from among the 99% of men, either overreaction or lack of action at all. You start to be the kind of man that discusses not only strength, but also show it by your behaviour, without ever having to speak once more. Secret 6. Psychological impact of noting a dream regarding her secret 6. The power of dreams. This one is subtle but immensely strong. Most men never consider using it. Nevertheless, once done right, it establishes an emotional link that stays in a woman's consciousness far longer than any compliment could last. It is the ability of implying that she have been on your mind even in absence. Awaken and picture this. You're having a friendly discussion, and at some point, point you casually dropped. Last night, the most bizarre dream about you. Then, you stop. You don't hurry into specifics. You let her 9-year curiosity grow. Times out of 10, she will slink in and ask, "Wait, really, what was it about?" Now, the key here is not some extravagant, too romantic fantasy. Keep it under control. Basic illumination and, somewhat light-hearted, play something like, we were merely seated at a cafe though, debating something profound, and it seemed truly wonderful. See what this accomplishes. Gently seeds in her mind that you relax around her because she rests in your subconscious, and that reveals an invisible link. Between you, ladies are really sensitive and easily grasp the concept of considering, in a manner not fitting for compelled or computed dreams, are something out of reach. Your control, something from your subconscious, dreamed up, and that by itself gives it a feel honest and interesting. It's not like an intended compliment. It's natural time. She finds herself wondering, why was I in his dream? This connects to a basic component of female psychology, mystery and emotions connection. A woman seeks for uniqueness, but not in an obvious generic sense. Saying, "I dreamed about you," she said, feels significant, free from influence without expectancy. It softly generates curiosity. Since most men find it not something they consider now, how we may link this to stance. A Stoic guy does not ask for his focus, lets innate curiosity to work in his face, and knows that just enough to direct her ahead. Without faltering stride, it's a moment of quiet leadership. Tact is not about following, it is about generating a pull. Rather of exerting too much effort, he lets little simple events create stronger emotions. Thus, the next time you are in a conversation with a woman, remembering this straightforward psychological trigger, avoid usage of it. Avoid pushing it. When the moment is, see how she leans in. How? Right watch. It triggers her beginning to see you differently. Secret number 7, the hidden 7. How a well-kept beard sets off the magic of primordial attract protection of a beard. One could believe that facial. While style is a personal decision, science. So, psychology advises, otherwise, a well-groomed beard does more than only alters your look. It affects how women see you on a profound level. Subconscious level research reveals that women sometimes identify with bearded males, with protection and strength, maturity. 3 things that set off primordial drawing instincts. Consider it historically in ancient periods of war, and leaders practically invariably had beard S, a sign of wisdom, resilience, and qualities of manhood that indicated a man's capacity for provision, guard, and guide. Even now, those associations haven't disappeared when a man has a beard and seems as more self-assured, more dominant, even more trustworthy. But here's the catch. Not only concerning beard development, but also about keeping things orderly and dirty, unkempt beard can convey sloth, while a beard kept in good shape shows disarray and respect. Hence, women are pulled to males with facial hair that seems deliberate non-neglect. It gently tells, I look after myself. I'm under control, and I know of my own presence. This relates exactly to Stoic ideas. Marcus Aurelius once observed, the soul becomes stained in the hue of its ideas. In similar manner, your outside interior looks mirror your inner discipline. A beard is not only facial hair, it speaks of calmness, resilience, and self-mastery. You are not just allowing it. You're creating a picture that fits the presence you desire to have. Orders. Furthermore, not to overlook one of the most important psychologically components, contrast a beard kept in good shape. Frames. The face highlighting great jawlines and changing facial expressions to be more clear. This naturally improves attractiveness, since it radiates a sense of roughness, harmonized with reef aspirations that women find appealing. So this implies that you must have a beard to be pleasing none. Still, if you can grow one, it's a tool. Value thinking about, and if you're already one keeping it in good shape, can increase the impression of you among others, particularly in ladies. Final last thought on applying these secrets with easy confidence. Use these secrets to distinguish yourself apart. Right now, you have unlocked 7 secret truths most men know entirely ignore. Yet these little strong activities can alter the direction of women see you always. Each one touches exploring modest psychological triggers that foster curiosity and intense attraction. So let's review without too much effort. The ability of touch before intimacy builds an emotional connection. Most guys disregard flirting with. Respect sets you apart as assured and in control, caressing her hair just at the appropriate moment. Subconscious chemistry. Placing your hand on her back in front of others signals peace and security. Under quiet leadership, looking out for her in the little times gives her security in a manner she won't even understand. She yearns for exercising the power. Dreams interact with her emotions in a method fosters attachment and interest. And at last, the existence of a kept beard in line with primordial instincts of strength and masculinity. Now ask how one may assume. In actual life, you implement all of this. The key is not to impose it. Attraction is developed by means of confidence and self-awareness. You're trying too hard. You tick off every secret in your interactions you will encounter, seem too unreal. Rather, let these revelations form a natural growth from your current state. Focus on possibilities. Should you be walking next to her, let your fingers drop softly on her return. Should she be at ease with you, employ a soft stroke on her hair at the appropriate moment. If your curiosity calls for a mention of fantasy you dreamed of her, the more effort it senses, the more potent it gets. And here's even more crucial. These secrets serve not just to increase your appealing to women. They define you as improved man. Generally, when you work on confidence, presence, and self-mastery, you stand out, not only in relationships, but in every sphere of women are pulled to guys automatically in life. Those with a sense of direction and control and quiet strength is where stoicism turns into a game changer for the stoic man, not search for confirmation. He does not pursue, just is. He moves with assurance, remains based on his morals, and lets his presence expresses for itself. He is aware that actual attractiveness is more than just stunts. It's about how present you in every moment. So, now it's up to you. Will you be like? The 99% of males who pass past this little yet strong will or action, you will use what you now know improves your presence, and walk in the 1% of men who really understand if you are ready to start. Using these secrets causes a decline in comment here and indicate which one you would want to use. Startled you the most? And should you come across worth in this video, press like button and register for subscription.